guest. Her name is Azeita Taylor, and she is a prominent person in the Coppers Cove community of Central Texas. So today she's going to talk to us about, what it takes to be engaged in your community. A lot of people do want to get out there and do things, or they have the idea to, but they really don't know where to get connected, how to get started, and what it takes. And so Azeita is going to tell us how she's gone about that within her community, and you can pick up those same ideas for your community as well. So Azeita, can you tell us what got you interested into volunteering and being a part of your community?
Yeah, actually I can. You know already that I'm a local minister here in Coppers Cove at United Faith Church, and under the leadership of Bishop and elect Lady Drummond. And I started in ministry years ago, I don't know, probably around 2005. And really what started me into volunteerism is really being a part of the church, being a part of the church and learning the concept, of the ministry of helps and being successful in doing that. I think, you have to learn how to do your first works, and that's, being a help to your fellow neighbor. The Word tells us, as we have opportunity, let us do good, to all men, especially to those of the household of faith. And so, really starting there, if those that are listening are Christians, that's where they need to start first. If they are really a member of a local church body, and if they're not doing anything in that church, really I would encourage them to plug in. That's their word for today. It's plug in. If they're a Christian, plug into their local church. If they're, if they are or if they're not, and they want to do something in their community, plug in to their local civic groups. They can start there. Really, they can, that's a springboard and a jumping point for them. I'm a part of our local Five Hills Art Guild, and, trying to bring art into our community. Find something that they're passionate about. If they love art, go to the Art Guild. If they love helping children, go volunteer at their local Boys and Girls Club. If they like to ride motorcycles and they love children, they can probably be involved with BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, something in that range. There's really, Priscilla, there's something for everybody. If they want to help, if they want to be plugged in, there's a place for them. Scripture again says that, our gifts will make room for us. And so really taking the opportunities that are given to us and even making opportunities for ourselves. Maybe they could volunteer with their local government, be a part of their planning and zoning commissions, be on those citizens focus groups that their local government may be putting together. Run for a local office. I hate to continue to bring up a scripture, but, really, Proverbs 29:2 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. What that means is, if you have a feeling for people, if you love people and you want to see right things done with money, with finances, with just opportunities to give to other people, then that's where we should be. It's not just about, sometimes we go and we volunteer in these civic groups and we volunteer in government and we run for office, and all those things are great. But if you don't have anything to give anymore, sit down and push somebody else up. That's another part of volunteering, really, is to build people in your community and not just the organization you're with. We need to be about the Father's business and about doing things that really help other people in ways in their development and not in just things that we want to do. I don't know if that answers your question, but
yeah, it does. It does. And I like what you said about the church being the springboard of volunteering, because when you go to the church, it almost has a strategic contagiousness about becoming a volunteer, because they're going to ask you that. You're going to see something in there that you like, and it just ventures out to different things, because those volunteers that you connect with within that church also volunteer outside of the church as well, and then you begin to network and, just become like the people that you're surrounding yourself with.
And that is the perfect word, networking. That is the perfect word.
Okay, so how long have you been in this city?
We moved to Coppers Cove in 2007, and, I love to say that it was the longest TDY ever. My husband came here to train the soldiers, and as did I on the civilian side, and we just decided that a year of TDY wasn't long enough, and we ended up staying. He became medically retired, and we decided this was our home, and we loved the community and the people.
And you all were Army branch, or?
Yeah, my husband was a staff sergeant in the Army, and so.
Okay, so military spouse.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. All right, and your family decided to stay here. Now, another thing is you are a family woman. You actually have a pretty large tribe over there and are constantly on the go, but yet you still seem to do these things. And I always know you're moving. Like, you guys today, even though it's Tuesday morning, we have done this show, and I knew I could call Azeita because I knew she would be doing something. She is always engaged. So how do you do it? How do you do it all? And stay cute.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? Tell the Lord thank you, because that's totally God. That I always say, he gives me strength where I need it. No matter what trial, what tribulation, what life experience comes, we persevere, and we learn how to like I said, just be a help. That should be, if it's not already, my prayer is for your listeners that they would get a heart for people and a heart for God. And I think that's how we do it. Literally, I think we stop just shy of with kids, we just stop just shy of having a baseball team. We have 7 kids and 3 grandchildren with 1 on the way. And so we are very
wow.
Very busy.
We just saw one. Now we have another one coming?
Yes, we sure do. She's a little girl.
The kids they're on Facebook, and we see the baby so much. It's we. Are we having another baby? So yeah. Wow. All right. So with your kids, is that something value that you are instilling in them?
It is. It sure is. Yeah. Even when I was campaigning, that obviously that I did run for city council here in Coppers Cove, and the kids actually helped with that. They helped. I helped to teach them how to campaign, how to talk to people, and how to get their voice out, even if they feel like you can be the Lone Ranger. But I really believe one person makes a difference. Matter of fact, I'm putting together a sermon that has that in there, is that really one person makes a difference, whether it's prayer, whether it's going to pick up trash along the waterways, whether it's just being a voice inside your community for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what really our representatives at city government level are supposed to be, is they're supposed to be elected officials who speak for us because we voted them in.
Right. Now, for those who are what we would call newbies, or those who are very fresh coming into the zone of volunteering, as you and I both know, Azeita, sometimes when you come to volunteering, you want to come into the behind the scenes of whatever organization that it is that you are volunteering for. Anywhere else you go, say, you're at Starbucks. Okay, when you go into Starbucks, the tables are nice, the floors are clean, the food is there, it smells great. That's what you see. If you were to volunteer there, you would see a little bit about what Bobby and Sally are doing in the back, what people say, the chairs when they're dysfunctioned and moved, and when there's trash. and you would see a little bit more. Those are the type of things that have to, sometimes I think, be brought out so that people don't get discouraged and so they don't feel like a bait and switch. And I believe those are kind of the things that build character for you to eventually have to be in a leadership position, because you're going to have to deal with those personalities eventually. What are your thoughts, Azeita?
You know what, actually, it's funny you say this, because I've been preaching this, and I don't mean it in the pulpit. I mean preaching this to everyday people as I'm going along volunteering, is the fact that you need diversity in every group. You have to have people that don't think like you, because if not, if you're all thinking the same, then there's this quote that if you're all thinking the same, you're really not thinking. And
right.
I really believe that. I believe that you may have an idea that you think is great, but I, on the other hand, may think that may be a great idea, but what about tweaking it a little bit? Or what about these things may happen during the way? Everybody's voice brings a piece to the puzzle. And I think if you're not listening, we may not all get along. We may not all have the same values. But if we have the same goal in mind, if we're all focused on the same thing, and that's for the betterment of your community, for the better quality of life for other people, then really every single voice coming together can accomplish great things. Everybody should not really be thinking the same thing all the time. You should have somebody in your life. I say there's three types of people that you need in your life. And that is, one is the person who loves you, that helps you to edify, and feel good about yourself. The second are enemies. You have to have your enemies because they help you to push forward, and they give you your strength that you need to give you a tough skin. And then the type of person is the person who doesn't even know you. That person is the one who keeps you humble and keeps you remembering you're not all that. And so,
right.
You have to have diversity in every single group. And sometimes we really learn how to work with others when we can accomplish a goal in that type of setting and not always have our way, and to be able to be respectful to one another, whether you like each other or whether you disagree. I think that's a growing aspect in an individual, and it should continue to be that.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of growing, everyone wants their community to grow because it's the community that you are raising your children in, that you are maintaining your career in, and your household. So you want to grow, and you want to live in and be a part of something that is moving forward. So what is the growth rate that you have seen since you've been here?
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, finally, I know for years the growth of 190, even just in the 190 corridor coming through here, and the changes in its status as a interstate now. I think that's a major growth that I think our city and our region did really well in accomplishing. It took a long time, but that's the one great thing. Another thing is the housing market. The builders have just, topped off with rooftops everywhere. So that's been really good. Some of our commercial, and here in Copper's Cove, our commercial development has not gone as fast as we would like it, but I can see that, while it's taken time, that it is finally starting to show a little bit of fruit of what's been done, behind the scenes, getting that development to come together. I wish it would come faster. And I wish that we would have industry. I really would like to push for industry to come to our region and our city specifically. That's going to help to really sustain, the growth of the housing market and the growth of the, the commercial development. You need money in order to pay for your house. You need money in order to go shopping at the store. And so really we need that industry to create jobs, that have equitable pay. And so That's something that I would like to see happen.
Yes, and the school system is very well here.
Our school system is phenomenal. It's very good. That's one of the reasons why we moved to this area, because I researched before I moved here, and I researched the area, and that was back in 2007, and it was still a top-notch school, and it still is.
And you all have networking events, though, that actually go on out here and take place. You and I met at a networking event at Frames and Things.
We did. Oh, my goodness. And
years ago.
Yes, Robert Wiedinger, the owner of Frames and Things. We sure did. I forgot about that, but we sure did.
Yeah, it was my first day interning at a television news station. So Azeita's been a part of my first media baby steps. Okay, now she is my first guest on my radio talk show. But yes.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Your career just blossomed, and I am very proud of you. You are always talking about moving and shaking and always working to accomplish something. I'm telling you, Priscilla, you have my utmost respect. You are one successful lady.
Thank you so much. I definitely feel the same about you. And Azeita, she's always putting the gospel out there and, just making sure, staying in the lines, because I'm telling you, in media, sometimes some weird things come on, and my sister will be like, listen, something's wrong with that. Get away. So I just really thank you. Thank you for being there for me and for our community, as you have been throughout the years, and just being a cornerstone in this area. And certainly from drinking from the fountain of youth, which is very important. So once again, everyone, this is Azeita. This is Azeita Taylor. I will have some information about her on my Priscilla Mack page, so you can take a look. And thank you for tuning in once again. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.